we're going to get as much in as possible today because we're probably not going to have a show tomorrow for Thanksgiving. As always, we appreciate Sleeper Picks and Pickett Sports for sponsoring, and I'm here with Brad and Josh. To get right into it, guys, like, how are you guys doing? Are you guys overwhelmed with the holidays? I mean, there's like, what, 14, 15 games, 3 NFL games tomorrow. We have a Black Friday game now. I know the NHL gave a break yesterday just to dog pile on everybody else when there's all these sports going on. So how are you guys feeling overall?
Overwhelmed. Like, even like, it's kind of frustrating. I always set my own numbers, like for especially for hockey props, like what I would pay, like the juice on it. I handicapped these freaking hockey games this morning, and then when the lines were released, like every player was like minus 165, and like they weren't widely available. I was like, why would I just spend all this time just for them to? Like, I'm not betting. There's only 2 players in the entire hockey that I bet minus 165 for. Like, anybody else, like, you're wasting your money. So I'm probably only gonna have like 1 or 2 bets all day for that, even though I handicapped freaking 25 million games.
Yeah, that's a rough start.
I was gonna say, like, I did a lot of NBA last night and was like, let me just get some of these bets in now because this stuff just flies. So
what was Kuzma last night? I thought he was gonna be 22.5. I think he opened at 20. I mean, I saw him at 23.
I had 14 games to look at. I'm gonna be honest, that one got the least of my attention.
That's fair.
The Hornets and Wizards.
You don't have the Washington Wizards circle as your first game to cap every single night.
Well, here's
That's
the thing.
crazy.
I tried to like take the Hornets being like, well, the Hornets might suck, but the Wizards are historically suck.
Yeah.
So, but that didn't really ever work out either. By the way.
No.
Like, the Hornets never win that game by or cover, and like I don't know if to rely on with the Wizards, but I think I'm trying to be reasonable today. I was reasonable yesterday because of the fact that I knew today was such a big NBA slate, and then Thursday, and now we have a Friday game. So, are you guys like, how are you doing with spreading your units around, basically?
Yeah, it's weird because yesterday I didn't really have much out, and I ended up kind of juicing out. I lost $10, which pissed me off in a weird way because, but like I still had some good plays going on. But today is gonna be really annoying because I have 2 players already locked in. And the thing that sucks about bigger slates is I feel like there's sometimes where it's like, oh shit, like I like that or I like that, and it's like, would I play it if there was not like this many games? Like, it's you gotta like really hone in. So I usually try not to have too many units out on any given night, but these kind of slates get very, very tempting really fast.
They do.
I end up, like, since I handicap so many sports, I end up cutting all my units in half.
Yeah, that's fair. I think my big thing too is I'm maybe going to say something in the group chat and like to the Twitter people I talk to sometimes, where I was telling Brad before the show, I just am so busy with family and travel the next 3 days that I almost would rather have 1 or 2 plays officially out and call it there than to try to like rush and get like a big card in that I'm not super confident because I was, on the freeway on my phone as I'm on the phone with my dad doing an email. Like, I mean, I'd rather have 2 plays where I'm like, oh yeah, I like this, I can enjoy my night, rather than be like, holy shit, I have 15 minutes. How much can I get in or get down? So I think it also depends on like your scheduling around the holidays. Because
it's almost helpful with how much there is, like how many sports there are, because it's hard to have FOMO about 9,000 things at once. You just get tired of FOMO and you're like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna just have my own bets. I'm not gonna worry about all these other tickets I see on Twitter that other people have been doing if they had time to do it because they're home alone or whatever. Like, you gotta live life sometimes, I guess.
So to get into it, do you guys want to cover a little bit of NFL first for tomorrow, because we're not gonna get it, and then we have this most of the time for NBA after we do that. Because I also want to do a mini mid-season, like kind of a gloat victory lap. I was bored this morning, like when I woke up, because my friend texted me about something, and I don't know if you guys have checked in on these season odds we did in the beginning of the year, but it's going to be really tough for me to lose this because I have Jalen Carter and CJ Stroud for the rookie of the year things, and then my defensive player, I have Carter and Witherspoon, and it's got to be one of them at this point. And then my coach of the year, I have Dan Campbell and D'Amico Ryans. So,
bro, did you bet on any of these? Because you're freaking
like if I can get and then have Tua and Jalen Hurts for MVPs.
All right, well, let's back up a minute. When we say he did a great job, we funneled him into
you had the first overall pick like every time. I didn't have the first overall pick.
Not every time. Once. But D'Amico Ryans at 22-1 would be really sick. It was just funny because I was checking I just like my friend texted me saying like I just had this weird like because you watch the show, so I just remembered you got CJ Stroud in the 3rd round. That's a sick pick, and I was like, oh, yeah, I wonder how else we're doing on those. And I like looked into it this morning. And I was like, oh shit, I hope I can win this. That'd be fun.
That's hilarious.
But
I think I have
I just
one
was
guy who's doing well at like really high odds, and I think that the rest are pretty bad. Like I think I have someone at like 25-1 who's close to a favorite. Or 50-1
I think you have Tyreek, right? Don't you have Tyreek?
Yeah,
like,
I have him
yeah,
at 18,
so
I think.
yeah, so that'd be fun. And I got Miles Garrett too, so hopefully he can pull away.
Oh my god, he's definitely gonna win. Oh, you
so
just got free $50 from me. Shit.
Yo.
I would need a colossal collapse from everybody I have because I don't know how it worked out that way. Because the only person that's worrisome is Will has Micah Parsons in that market, but then again he also has like Mike White, so it's very it's very weird. But
So we're just like totaling up
like the odds,
greatest,
yeah, I guess
greatest,
it'd be
greatest
like,
juice.
Yeah,
like
if
plus
you put a unit,
1600 is like
put a unit on all your wins.
Just greatest juice with a unit on there.
But I just wanted to bring that out. It's not as fun because Will's not here, but so I have to get him separately to tell him. But to go into
bring it up again.
yeah, bring it up on the show Monday. Be like, hey, Will, in case you missed this, I was gonna say was I just want to bring that up real quick, and then going to the games tomorrow. What do you guys have locked in on these 3 game slates? We kind of covered a broad spectrum of it yesterday or whatever day that was, but we haven't really gone into exactly what we're betting.
I did I included, I think, the Friday game. I did a Niners, Hawks, and Dolphins parlay.
Seahawks or Atlanta Hawks?
Why did I say Hawks?
I don't know.
Sorry, hold on. I did a Dolphins, Niners, Lions parlay. It pays out 101.
Nice. I mean, if you took the Atlanta Hawks last night, that didn't work out probably.
Wait, hold on.
You didn't.
I took Pacers team total.
That's
and
great.
I was like, that shit cashed in 3rd period.
Good boy.
I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna run this over into 76ers plus 200. I was hyped, bro. I was hyped.
Yeah,
and then overtime.
That's
overtime to me.
It was such an easy call, but yeah, I got Niners 6.5 twice.
I like that.
Once I see the Niners healthy, like I think we talked about yesterday, the Seahawks missed their skid, if you will, right? Like they missed the moment in time where the Niners were hurt and et cetera, et cetera. I think you said that, Brian. So I'm all in. I've been all out.
I mean, the Niners last week, you couldn't watch NFL Red Zone without seeing a chunk play from insert Kittle, Samuel, CMC on the ground. Like it seemed like because I actually had CMC receiving props last week and I lost, and it was one of those things where I feel like I lost solely because everybody else was just getting these 50-yard gains where they never had a long field because they were just destroying it on the offensive end.
Yeah, they're very good. So they're back, but in the Manders game there, I do think CD and Dak kind of go off together. Honestly,
so I'm glad you brought that up. Going off because the Commanders always give up a 100-yard receiver. I think they're like 2nd in the NFL. Against the wide receiver one.
Oh, they're worse against the pass in general, but
but like the wide receiver one, it's like 100. I'm trying to remember. It's like a gross number. I could pull it up, but it's like 128 yards per game or something. Like
for the wide receiver one.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
I brought it up yesterday where I had CD like not like I'm a great handicapper to say, wow, CD Lamb's good. But when I saw these games after his down performance on Sunday, my first thing was like, oh, I want CD Lamb stock this week. He opened at 95.5.
Oh, I thought it was 91, but yeah.
No, it was 95.5 at open, and he's down to some books this morning had him at 89.5. So 89.5
is scary.
I actually think 89.5. I'm totally okay laying 89.5 minus 115. That's a lot better to me than 96.5 that it opened on FanDuel. Like that's just a crazy number to me.
Yeah. I took him minus 105 for the tutty, and then I parlayed it with the win. That got me up to plus 120 at least. Because I just took the money line with that 12.
If you have ESPN bet, they have him 88.5. I do think the only thing that I would say with that is only reason I haven't locked in CD Lamb props is because I almost think that is it better to lay minus 120 for 88.5 or just take the plus 125 for 100 plus? Because so far this year, he's getting 115 or he's getting 36. Like it's not like he's really falling in that 70 to 90 category often. He is
Can you
booming or he's
I don't know if
busting.
you can do this, but can you predict whether or not you will be more upset if he doesn't get any of it, or you know what I mean, the 100, or
Yeah,
more
I
upset that
think
he
I
didn't
think
get
I
the
think
100?
the way I bet, I am totally okay risking the
Pretty risk
juice.
averse. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I'm okay risking the juice
Oh,
to get
interesting.
the actual line because I have trouble laddering because I have weird. I want to like throw things at the wall or like crash my car into like a tree. If I ever do
Seems
say,
unhealthy,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I took this guy at 12 and a half points, I allowed him to 20, and then he gets 13, and I'm like, why did I give away a half a unit by going up the ladder and not just doing the bigger on the initial line because the lines can be
Right.
so fine.
So
So
you're
I
saying
Yeah,
you
think I
would
that's
will
split
end
the
up.
fair.
juice, right? You would just put a
Yeah,
bigger bet on the 88.5, right?
yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
I
I
was
think
predicting you to do. That's how I know
yeah,
you bet, so I figured that's what you were doing, yeah.
yeah, I just think that's what I end up doing because I just don't see how this Commanders team stops them. And like I know Brad mentioned blowout potential, but how often like CD Lamb has like these 30-yard gains like
Yeah,
on the regular, even it's like even they could be
I
up
like
two
it.
scores. They can be up two scores in the fourth quarter and say he needs 30 some yards.
That's the other part because Brad was saying blowout potential, right, Brad? And, like, I
Yeah.
still think this team, I mean, Dak threw
There's a reason I didn't
38
bet on the
times.
Cowboys. I think if there's a
Yeah.
team that can upset a team, it's the Commanders versus anybody because it's just they get pressure on the quarterback and then they somehow play well in division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I yeah,
Um,
I think that's a good look.
12 is a lot.
I think it's so funny to think about. One of the things I was looking at with that game was just being like, how lame is it to bet CeeDee Lamb on Thanksgiving? And then the more again, it's such a chalky, like easy quote unquote look. And the more I looked at the numbers, the more I was just like, I don't know, like
Where
how do you not like like how do you not bet on
is
him?
it chalky to bet on Tyreek Hill over 95 yards? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he have
it's
146? Yeah.
yeah. I think it's just
So,
one of
I
those
mean,
things where
sometimes
you
is it chalky to bet Jokic triple-double? Yeah, but he averages it. So, like, we're gonna do it. So, you know?
yeah, I think that's a big key there because I also think people scare themselves off because I don't have a problem laying that or betting that way, but I think some people have a problem too where insert Joe Schmo that would normally love to bet CeeDee Lamb. Maybe they're not betting it because it's like, oh, it's a standalone game. Of course they want me to bet CeeDee Lamb. Like, so I'm going to avoid that. And then when he has 163 yards in 2 catches, somehow they get really upset, and it kind of is a vicious cycle there.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yeah.
I
Do
just want to
you guys have
lock
any
in
other
my bet
props or
here
anything?
because what?
I was gonna say I have a few props for the first game too. I know it's probably the least sexy of them all
Which
in
one?
terms of
The
the
Packers?
Lions Packers. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have 3 props. I haven't played in them yet, but they're all in my
I
list,
want
and
to
I want
take
to see
Jordan
if
Love
I
over
met.
33.5 passes. Oh my god, my lights almost just fell down on top of everything. Wow,
Oh,
good
that's
catch. I
awful.
caught it with my feet, by the way, guys.
Good shit,
Well,
dude. Happy for you,
yeah.
man.
Holy shit.
Josh, do you
Yeah,
want to go through
I
your
got Jordan
props because
Love.
I'm going to put in the Discord my NBA bet because someone just texted me saying, "Wow, I can't believe how much that's moving." So I don't want to.
What
I don't
is
want to.
your
It's
NBA
one
bet
of
that you
my
put
NBA
out?
bets. Yeah. So I'm saying like I'm going to put it in the Discord as you talk, so that
Yeah,
way
go ahead.
we
Oh,
don't
okay.
miss a line.
Okay. So I'll throw a whole bunch of Lions at you. Well, actually, no, I'll just put David Montgomery out there. Going back to his rushing yards, I gave that out last week as well. Is at 49.5. It is up to 66.5. But I also think you're just going to get a heavy dose of run in this game as well. We saw it last game. 40 rush attempts. He had 32 of them. It might be a little bit more evenly split, closer to like 15-ish, maybe, 16, 14 in that range. But I still think he's getting 15 carries in a game that they'll be up again, to be honest. I don't think you can expect 2 bad weeks in a row from Jared Goff like that when he's at home, at least. And then in the same game, I do like Jordan Love, Brad, over 227.5. I think you can still get some 227.5s, but it might have moved up to 230. I would still take over 230.5. I think they're going to have a bunch of negative game script there for the Packers. So
Yeah.
actually parlayed. I bet that both those straights a unit each, and then I bet I put a little quarter of a unit on the parlay with the Montgomery Tutty and the Lions money line, and that got me up to like 550. So that was a nice
Yeah,
little
I'm
play
glad
on
you
unit.
brought up the negative game script for John, like for the Lions potentially because I know Brad mentioned the angle for Jordan Love attempts. I was looking at his rushing yards too. I know we mentioned it yesterday, but
Yeah.
if they're down, this Lions defense is so not good at stopping quarterbacks that can take off and move. And Love hasn't been running the last 2 weeks, but 15.5 yards is like 1 or 2 good scrambles for him.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna be down. But my only worry is we kind of saw it last week with Love. He had 0 carries or whatever it was. My only worry is the Lions defense so bad that he might not even be in the pocket long enough to scramble. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he gonna be able to find receivers so easily that scrambling doesn't have to factor into it? That was my biggest reservation for just taking that blindly.
Interesting.
That's fair.
Why are you fading the Lions D so hard? Like, what are you seeing?
No, I just the Lions defense in general, I don't think is very good in like the slightest.
Yeah, they're really good on the defensive line, and then outside of that, it just sucks.
Yeah, and that's my worry is that if they create pressure but they're able to find open receivers, is it really going to create
if they create
situations
pressure,
where
it's not going to have time to find open receivers.
That's fair, but
right?
I guess my thing is that if you have less pressure, you have to almost get in the head of the quarterback that, holy shit, is he going to take off and run, or is he going to have some kind of safety valve where he's just going to hit him right away?
Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about it, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not, and Luke Musgrave's not playing, by the way. Lacerated kidney. That doesn't sound good.
Ouch. So are we taking Wicks receiving yards in?
Just something.
Dontavian Wicks, I know people make fun of me, but man, if they give me a line, I'll look into it. Like he's making
I took him last week.
He cashed first once this year.
I'm drawing a blank. Player prop savant. He brought him up on past the props and didn't say it to bet him, but like you always know when someone knows their team. I feel like you know your team better than anyone else, and he keeps mentioning Wicks. He just keeps mentioning him. Doesn't give an official bet, and I'm like, yeah, we're taking Wicks yards. Like the way he was talking about this guy, I was like, yeah, that's the easiest bet I'm ever gonna make. Like he was like drooling over him.
Yeah,
no line from him yet, obviously, but
right. You gotta wait till like right before game time for that shit. So annoying.
Yeah. So I like that. And the other thing I wanted to bring up in that game was I kind of want to bet Jahmyr Gibbs receiving yards, 27 and a half. 27 and a half. I mean, I know
David
Montgomery's back.
Their snap share is pretty even over the last like couple of weeks, but David Montgomery is in there when they're under center, and he's in there when they're in shotgun.
Yeah, I just think I was looking at the stats. His last 4 games, he has 5, 6, 10, and 5 targets.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack, Packers in terms of the guarding the running back position. They're not super healthy in that linebacker core, and I just feel like Gibbs is. You can almost see it with Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta's yards and receptions are going down, and I think that's a big credit to the fact that Gibbs has just been so good taking a lot of those intermediate roles. So I think 27.5 is a little short on that line. I just was confused because last time they played the Packers, he had 4 catches for like 11 yards. So I don't know what happened in that game, but you have to think that the volume's there for him to break just 2 decent plays to get to like that 30-yard mark.
Yeah. No, I like that bet because of the same reasons I like Montgomery to get rushing. So same concept.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on this
time? I don't
slate?
really have anything else on NFL if you want to throw a few NBA bets out there.
No, let's go NBA. I think that'd be fun. What's your what do you guys have locked in for NBA so far in this massive slate?
Oh,
indeed.
I didn't lock anything yet.
I can tell you what I had.
Go ahead, Josh.
I did lock in the Suns. -2.5. Are they still at -2.5, or did that move?
Let me check my bet slip before I lie to you.
Will's got me scared to just like say numbers. Before I check them.
Just say I'm scared. Well, use Pickett Sports to shop your lines.
Yeah, I just flipped.
Oh shoot, I do have NBA. Go ahead.
Where they at? I just passed them. Damn, there are so many guys. No, yeah, you can still get a -2. Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah, love that. Take it. I'm gonna hit it again. The book is just I take him 25 plus as well. Like he loves playing this team. Yeah, it's gonna go off. No Bradley Beal. We're just talking like a 33% usage rate. I think there's blowout potential in that one. I took him in the points and them as well with the points. And then I took a little Malik Beasley. He is my second favorite prop. I took him over 8.5 points. I think he's been getting starter minutes like over 30, plus the usage up about 15%. Plus he's their best 3-point shooter, up about 55% in the last 5 games. So I think there's plenty of reason to think like Giannis struggles against the Celtics, who know how to play defense against him with Al Horford Now you've got Kristaps behind him. They're one of the best teams against the paint for a reason. So not that Giannis can't get his, but there's going to be plenty of kickouts if you want Giannis assists as well. And then the last thing, my real honestly my favorite bet of the night is a Vucevic under 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Chet Holmgren. You don't come in the house of Chet like that. I think you're just going to score points against dude. Chet Holmgren, I got real in the fucking weeds with him last night. Is the best defender one-on-one down low around the rim according to field goal percentage. He is shooting 49% from the field inside 5 feet. His opponents are shooting 40% inside 5 to 9 feet. So he's basically just stopping everything around the rim, but he's also getting 49% in that area. Like the best discrepancy. He has got the best discrepancy between his field goal percentage and what he's limiting other people to. I really can't stop gushing about Chet Holmgren at this point.
Do you think Chet Holmgren has a case right now? Like, I know Victor gets all the love. Is he the rookie of the year at this point in time? If the season ended like right now,
I would bet him. I just think Wembanyama gets media love.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's a matter of it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the season. As good as Chet has been, it's going to be really interesting to see if that's enough, because the media is the media, but that doesn't really it shouldn't factor in as much for these kind of awards. But you always know how it works out.
Like, since the season has started, I would argue that because he's on nothing San Antonio, even his star power and allure can't overcome the fact that nobody wants to watch a game where they're going to lose by 30 every fucking time.
Yeah.
Defense for half a possession, much less a full one. Much less a full game, right? And then they just play fast. Their guys are consistently hurt as well. Like Devin Vassell's out was really important on offense. And Wemby can't just take over the league on offense by himself yet in a way that would be meaningful. So
he's almost getting shot. He's almost getting shot in the foot with all these injuries because his efficiency is so low with his higher volume that it's an ugly look when you look at your stats and then you scroll over on the game log and you see the shooting percentages and it's like, oh, 18 points, but
yeah, he took 19 shots. That's a big part of it. And then Chet is on a team that is going to be. I know people don't care about the rookie of the year, but you have to be a lot better than the other guy if you're a rookie who's impacting your team this way. They're the 4th best defensive team in the league, and there's a direct correlation between when Chet Holmgren plays and when he doesn't. You know what I mean? So he's getting I took him 80-1 defensive player of the year. I don't know, right before the season, a week before the season started. So I'm not saying that that's a come to fruition, but it's alive because of how good he is. So I think if he's going to be that good on defense, plus his shooting has come around, he's at 18.5 points. I lean under there tonight. I actually wouldn't love that. It's gotten way bloated above the 15.5. There's been some 14.5s for him this year. And now we're up at 18.5 because he just went off against the Warriors twice, 26 points, 34 points, or vice versa, 24 and 36. So yeah, I might go under on his points at this point, but yeah, all the love there and under on Vooch, 30.5 PRA.
Yeah, and staying in that same game, what I was putting in Discord, because I actually, you can still get the line I got. It just every other book is getting juiced on this, which I think I knew was going to happen. I was just hoping it would wait until after the show. I did bet on SGA over 5.5 assists. It's such a weird prop to look at in a big slate like this, but he's diming the ball a lot more than people I think are giving him credit. I mean, he has 13 games this year. He's gone over this in 8 of them. And it's mostly just a credit to, Alex Caruso and they have Kobe White and all these good defensive guards that they funnel these point guards for assist. You're looking at they allow the fewest points per game to point guards, but they're also allowing 27.5 assists per game in general. They are not great at closing out on the 3-point line. So a team like the Thunder that can get really hot, you talk about Isaiah Joe and some of these guys that can get hot on the 3-point line. If you have Caruso or you have Kobe White doing these traps on SGA and he can find open shooters on the corner, I think he can actually get a double-double at plus 500. I think it's one of those games where he could really just find a stride because he's a smart player. If his shot's not going down, he's not normally the kind of guy that will still try to take 38 shots. I do think you can see a game where maybe he has 21 points, 8 assists, or flirt with a double-double here. So I did take over 5.5 assists at minus 120 on DraftKings.
I like it.
I
dig it. I dig the
so I'll tell you my play, and then I have questions. You guys know I like my freaking milestones, so I did take the revenge angle today.
Wait, let me guess. Wait, who's the revenge? Oh, Jrue Holiday?
No, Dylan Brooks. But I do have a question in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I love it.
I took Dylan Brooks. 15 at plus. What am I trying to guess? I just have it right here. Plus 225, and then I took him 30 plus at. I mean, not 30, 20 plus at plus 850. Just good revenge angle there. They suck against the point guard position as well. But you segued right into my question.
Yeah.
Do we take Jrue Holiday today? Take his points. I was gonna take Derek White if he opened up at 10.5. He ended up opening up at 11.5. Line ballooned instantly to 13. But Jrue Holiday at 15.5. We know how bad Milwaukee is against the guards. Like, they're just awful. Second worst in the league behind the Cavaliers.
Cavs, yeah.
Do we take Jrue Holiday at 15.5?
It's not a bad.
It kind of sucks that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it kind of sucks that I don't hate the Jrue Holiday angle because the other question is,
but the other question is,
are you guys sure that, like, when I saw that Jason Tatum came up on the injury report, my first thought was, oh, he's not gonna play. Like, you can't bet knowing that, but when he came on the injuries report late today, I was a little bit skeptical that if he's even going to suit up.
I wonder though if there's something where he just has to be on it if he's not practicing or something to that effect, right?
Yeah, let me see what was he listed
for?
Yeah, illness.
Jaylen Brown then.
No, but hold on with the
I love the revenge angle
Drew, with the Drew, the revenge angle. The thing about Drew is I was looking at his steals and blocks.
Dude, he's been nuts at getting his steals.
For Drew, it's like when he's like, I'm going in, I'm taking over, I'm doing my thing. That feels like it's on defense. Yeah, like, well, especially when you have that many good offensive players. Like, Derek White's probably better than Jrue Holiday on offense at this point.
100%.
Yeah.
Drew, right? But Derek White's a better offensive player than Jrue Holiday. I don't have to say probably. Thank you for helping me have the confidence to just say it outright.
Yeah,
it's true. Fucking, he's amazing right now. So he's more of the focal point of the offense, right? And Drew is more of a glue guy at this point. And so yeah, I think the stocks might be a solid play for him in a game where he's going to be going balls out.
Yeah, let me check the Pickett Sports odds on some of these odds because the other thing I was gonna say with Jason Tatum, like whether he plays or not, is when I saw it open, like I don't know if Jrue Holiday would actually be at 15.5 if it wasn't for speculation that Tatum may or may not be in. You know, like I think 15.5 is a little. Yeah. Well, it's a little high. Like if you were to say, oh yeah, he's getting his normal 14.5 or 13.5, I'm like, oh, that's kind of tempting. But 16.5 is a little bit more adventurous there. Let's see. 15.5 is where you're gonna find him for every single line, which is really annoying.
Why aren't they telling me what Jaylen Brown points opened at? Do you know what his points opened at?
I am not sure.
Jaylen Brown hasn't gone over him 1, 2, 3, 4 straight games.
So Jrue Holiday over 1.5 steal/blocks is plus 114.
I might play that.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 for steals plus blocks.
I think that's the play. Yeah.
His steals is like it's minus 190 for a steal.
Yeah, for one steal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it in. I mean, I think the stocks are fine. He can block Dame Lillard if he goes to the rim.
I guess like when we get off the show
for 24.5 points, the only place that the Celtics give up points is to the point guard. So while I like the fact that the ball is probably going to get funneled out against a really good interior defense to shooters like Malik Beasley, I also like Dame to do his thing, maybe get to the rim.
Now I'm kind of looking into Holiday stuff because everything you guys are saying, it makes a lot of sense. Where I almost might just look at what is it, his rebounds are 4 or 5.5 really juiced.
Wait,
I wonder what his.
Sorry,
what's up?
Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say I wonder what his PRA line looks like because, to Josh's credit or to your credit, is that I wouldn't be surprised if he does everything a little bit more juiced up. That a PRA line might be a fun look because as we mentioned before, it can't be understated how bad this defense has looked this year. So that's kind of my thing is that let me see what's his PRA is
one thing
27.
One thing to keep an eye on with that though, and this is the last thing I'll say because I actually really have to dip in like literally 1 minute.
We'll head out.
The last thing I would say is the defensive rating has gotten better in the last 5. Let's see if that's because they've played some duty competition.
Shooting teams, they played some bad teams.
Offensive rating against them. Mavs went off against them. The Wizards just went off with 125 offensive rating against them. So they might still be bad, but in their last 5, they do have they've gone from like the 25th defensive rating in the league to like up around like 11th or 9th. So they got better. Brooke Lopez had like a team only meeting where he was like, yo, we're done with whatever defense you think we're playing. We're going back to our drop defense on the screens and stuff like that. So now Brooke Lopez is back down low. Might be a little better. I think the Celtics will be fine scoring on it though, so probably an over as well. But
yeah, so we'll head out because I know Josh has to head out. But we won't see you guys tomorrow for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back Friday. So if you guys follow us on any social media or in the Discord or whatever, this, that, and the other, we'll definitely have a lot more content in terms of bets and whatnot. But it was good to cover what we got covered today. And we'll see you guys Friday. As always, we appreciate sleeper picks and Pickett Sports. And we'll, like I said, see you guys Friday at 12.